Hello and welcome to That Was Golf, your weekly golfing review podcast. My name is Calum MacVicar. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode as we take a look back over the weekend's golf. We start this week on the PGA Tour, where it was the Grant Thornton Invitational held at Tiburon Golf Club in Naples, Florida, USA. Winning here was Andrew Novak and Lauren Coughlin. Winning the mixed team format, which includes players from the PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour, Andrew Novak and Lauren Coughlin set a tournament record of 28 under across the 54 holes of play. Across their 3 rounds, the pair only made one error, a double bogey in round 2. For Novak, it's his second team win of the season after winning the Zurich Classic with Ben Griffin earlier in the year on the PGA Tour. Across the 3 rounds, different formats are played: scramble, foursomes, and a modified 4-ball where both players tee off, then play the opposite player's ball until completion of each hole. In round 1, the scramble round, the 2 teams of Michael Brennan and Charlie Hull, and Wyndham Clark and Lexi Thompson, both set records for the lowest rounds in the tournament's history, scoring 17 under 55s. Also on the PGA Tour this week, it was Q School Final Stage, held at Dyes Valley Course and Sawgrass Country Club in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, USA. The final stage of Q School on the PGA Tour brought life-changing moments and some very near misses for the field of 174 hopefuls. From 1st to 5th on the final leaderboard and gaining PGA Tour cards were first place on 14 under AJ Ewart, who entered at second stage qualifying after his 15th place finish on the PGA Tour America's Order of Merit, and will play as a rookie in the PGA Tour next year. Tied second on 12 under was Adam Svensson, Alejandro Tosti and Marcelo Rosso. Svensson, who earned a spot in the final stage of qualifying after finishing 167th on the PGA Tour FedEx Cup Fall, retains his card for the 4th consecutive year. Tosti, who also entered at final stage qualifying after finishing 114th on the PGA Tour FedEx Cup Fall, retains his card via Q School for the 2nd consecutive year. Rosso, who entered Q School at final stage qualifying thanks to his 45th place finish on the Korn Ferry Tour Order of Merit, will play next year as a rookie on the PGA Tour in what will be his 14th year as a professional. Dylan Wu and Ben Silverman finished tied 5th on 11 under, meaning a playoff hole would decide who would gain the final PGA Tour card. Wu edged out Silverman with a birdie on the first playoff hole. Wu earned his final stage Q School spot after finishing 168th on the FedEx Cup Fall and regains PGA Tour status for 2026. Just missing out by one shot on the tied 5th playoff were Camilo Villegas and Matt Atkins, who both made errors in their final rounds, leaving them on 10 under par. They, along with the other finishers up to 45th plus ties, will get Korn Ferry Tour memberships, with all other finishers earning conditional status across the Korn Ferry Tour and PGA Tour Americas. Next to the Asian Tour, where it was the Saudi Open presented by PIF at the Dirab Golf and Country Club in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Winning here was Bjorn Hellgren. In the final event of the year on the Asian Tour, Swede Bjorn Hellgren made scores of 66, 65, 67 and 67 on the par 72 course to finish on 23 under for the tournament, beating Aussie Jack Thompson by one shot. Thompson and Hellgren, who played together in every group across the 4 rounds, battled out a thrilling conclusion to the season. In the final round, Thompson's 2 bogeys to Hellgren's 1 bogey was ultimately what sealed Hellgren's narrow margin of victory. We'll have a special episode looking back at the 2025 season on the Asian Tour available later this week. Next to the Professional Golf Tour of India, where it was the Vishwa Samudra Open, held at Delhi Golf Club in New Delhi, India. Winning here was Yuvraj Sandhu, claiming his 6th win of the season and cementing himself as the Order of Merit winner for the 2025 season. Yuvraj Sandhu yet again put on an excellent display of golf which saw him head and shoulders above the field. Shooting scores of 73, 69, 66 and 66 on the par 72 course, Sandhu finished on 14 under for the tournament, a whopping 8 shots clear of N. Thangaraja in 2nd place. Final top 10 in New Delhi was first place and winning the tournament on 14 under, Yuvraj Sandhu. 2nd place on 6 under, N. Thangaraja. 3rd place on 5 under, Akshay Sharma. 4th place on 3 under, Manu Gandas. 5th place on 2 under, Rashid Khan. Tied 6th on 1 under was Michel Ortolani, Veer Alawat and Sharuya Bhattacharya. And tied 9th on even par was Honey Baisoya, Jairaj Singh Sandhu and Viraj Medappa. Over to the PGA Tour of Australasia, where it was the Victorian PGA Championship held at Moona Links in Fingal, Victoria, Australia. Winning here was Mark Leishman. In a testing final day at Moona Links, cold winds across the course saw only 2 players break par and plenty of the field drop shots. Despite finishing on a round 4 score of 76 4 over par, Mark Leishman managed to draw on his years of experience and made a clutch birdie on his 72nd hole of the tournament, giving him a 1-shot advantage over Josh Younger in 2nd place. Ending a run of 3 weeks playing on home soil, which included a tied 3rd at the BMW Australian PGA Championship and tied 18th at the Crown Australian Open, Leishman claims his 2nd win in the 2025 season after his victory at the Live Golf Miami earlier this year. Final top 10 at Moona Links was 1st place on 5 under and winning the tournament, Mark Leishman. 2nd place on 4 under, Josh Younger. Tied 3rd on 3 under was Jimmy Zheng, Connor McDade, Adam Bland and Andrew Campbell. Solo 7th on 2 under was Sudarshan Yelamaraju, and tied 8th on 1 under was Mason Lee, Tim Hart and Jay McKenzie. And lastly this week we visit the DP World Tour, where it was a co-sanctioned event with the Sunshine Tour, the Alfred Dunhill Championship held at Royal Johannesburg Club in Johannesburg, South Africa. Winning here was Jaden Schapers. After heavy downpours of rain made the course unplayable, the Dunhill Championship was shortened to a 54-hole tournament. Round 2 leader Eugenio Chacara started the day 2 shots clear of Jaden Schapers in 2nd place, but it was the South African Schapers who would end the final round on top of the leaderboard, finishing on 16 under and Chacara finishing on 15 under. Joining Schapers on tied 1st was last year's winner Shaun Norris, who shot an incredible 62 8 under par in the final round to force a playoff. Playing the playoff on the par 5 18th, Schapers produced one of the shots of the year, which led ultimately to his win. His 2nd shot, a fairway wood from a bunker he found from his tee shot, landed on the green and finished on the first cut just off the back of the green. He then went on to make a putt for eagle, securing his first win on the DP World Tour, following up his tied 2nd finish at the Nedbank Golf Challenge last week. Final top 10 in South Africa was 1st place and winning the playoff on 16 under, Jaden Schapers. 2nd place and losing the playoff also on 16 under, Shaun Norris. 3rd place on 15 under, Eugenio Chacara. Tied 4th on 13 under, Oliver Becker, Christian Burke and Louis Oosthuizen. Tied 7th on 12 under was Martin Couvra and John Parry. And tied 9th on 11 under was Christian Bezuidenhout, Brandon Grace, Michael Hollick, Aldrich Potgieter and Samuel Simpson. And for another week, that was golf. Thank you so much for listening into this episode. Wherever you get your podcasts from, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all future episodes, released every Tuesday, 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.